Here you can see the condition of the cylinder bores before we begin cleaning them up. There's some carbon buildup, scoring on the bottom. This is going to be pretty typical. We're going to try to save some money instead of going to a machine shop. I'm going to grab a new ball hone from Hone Research on Amazon. They're about 50 bucks. This one is, I think, 4 1/8 diameter wide. The stock bore for the 351 Windsor is 4 inches, so you want to go just a little bit larger. This is a 320 grit hone, brand new, so we're going to get it chucked up into the drill here. We're going to use this cutting fluid by Tap Magic to lube up this hone. You have to lube this up. Manufacturer sells some of their own stuff from Hone Research. I've seen some guys use WD-40, but you definitely don't want to put this in there in a dry cylinder with a dry hone. Now, the hone does have to be moving before you plunge it into the cylinder, and you want to complete the pass all the way to the bottom of the cylinder and all the way back up. Manufacturer's recommendations for initial start, you want to try to keep it at a steady, constant speed. You want to try to do about 10 passes before moving on to the next one and checking your progress. Here's what the bores look like after a few rounds of 10 passes. Now, the surprise box. This was like Christmas. I was finally able to get the body and the rest of the components from the kit. It took about 3 months. You can see my son is just as excited as I am. He went and got his hammer so he could give me a hand so we could open this thing up. I do have to say this crate was built better than some houses that I've seen. Here I'm using my hammer and screwdriver to knock out the staples, kind of weaken them up so I can start prying. This thing was really put together. I think in total it took me about an hour to open it up. I could have possibly done it faster if I would have cut a bunch of pieces open, but I did not know until I got this front panel off how it was actually packaged inside. So here you can see the front of the car. That's a beautiful sight to see for me. I'm very stoked. It makes it feel a lot more real. Now that I got that top panel and the side panel off, I can undo this strapping and get the box the windshield was packaged in out of there, and slowly continue to open this thing up and remove components as I get access to them. Underneath the windshield are the seats. In the engine compartment, we've got a bunch of boxes for the radiator, headers, side pipes, etc. Here's a walk around of the body. So I got all of the sides opened up. You can see removed the seats. The panel gaps for the hood and the trunk look really nice. In place in the garage so we can start doing some more work. All right, man, this is so awesome. Getting to see this thing right here just sitting in the garage every day when I come out is fantastic. Here you can see there's the cow bar right underneath there. That will get bolted in and put in place later to give it some extra structural support and to mount the dash to. Here on the rear of the car, you can see the trunk. This little tape handle to open it up. That'll get all worked in as we put in the gas tank. I do really like the gaps on the trunk to the body. They all look very nice and evenly spaced. That's already been done for me. And back to the front of the car, same thing with the hood. The gaps all look fantastic, nice and even. This is a substantial piece, it's fairly heavy. Panel gaps on the hood, pretty good. So what else we got? Gas tank and weather stripping for the hood. This is all mostly lights, light buckets, headlight rings, door latches. We got the headers. Those are some of the tube sleeves to go over it. The two doors, gauges in the white box. We got all the other metal steel packs. That box is a radiator mount. We got the two side pipes here, all together with the mufflers. It does have an integrated muffler, so it'll kill your ears, but not as fast. The actual headlights themselves, the interior carpet pieces, door panel bags, door cards. And this box is the windshield. This has the pillar mounts and stuff, and then the dashboard is in here. Been doing some work on the engine, but I will say for price update, not super happy, but it's the world that we live in. Everything's gotten crazy more expensive. The cost of the kit went up $3,000 by itself. And then unbeknownst to me, originally when I started this journey over 2 years ago, the gas tank headers, radiator, and side pipes were not included. That was an extra $2,400. And then the shipping, the huge crate, you guys saw everything in earlier in the video, how it came back. Everything was super well packed. I had a lot of faith in the packing of it. It was like they built a house, but that cost me $2,600. So I wasn't too happy about that. Super increase in shipping costs. When I did speak to them, if any of you guys are interested, still going with ANC Autos. They've been great. It's just the cost of doing business and people wanting their profits and overhead and stuff. It is much, much cheaper if you get this as a rolling chassis, because I can just go on a car trailer, and then you should be looking at under $1,000. Problem with that is that defeats the whole purpose of building it yourself. Whether it's cheaper in total or not, I don't know how much their rolling chassis are. It's probably around the same price anyways, if not still even more. But just to keep everything as clear and transparent for you guys as possible, that's what we're looking at price-wise. So plans, as you saw, working on this motor, I did find another resource for you guys, so something to keep aware of. Check out your local community college, or possibly any tech schools. They might still have an automotive shop that has a hot tank that they'll let you use. I know my old high school used to have one, stuff like that, resources you might be able to grab for free. But I'm gonna talk about the cleaning of this later as I do some more. So far I've been able to get it all clean, and it's cost me around $9. Gas tank needs to be coated inside, and probably going to possibly need to be modified a little bit since I am running fuel injection instead of carbureted. The gauges look pretty good, but I'm not super happy with the company logo. As you can see, they say dolphin on them. I've seen a lot of people, you can make little inserts that go in there, so I might think about it where it has a Cobra branding or something on there. Not really going to try to copy the Stewart Warner gauges. I'm not going for complete exact replica. The plan right now is to leave it black. This is a black gel coat, how it comes. So polish the rest of this stuff out from where it had to be worked coming out of the mold, and try to get everything even better gloss than this. And thinking about doing the white over fender stripes. Not a huge fan of the very large dual centered stripes. I'm kind of an asymmetrical guy on a lot of stuff. Thought about doing an offset racing stripe that drives off, or not drives off, that lines up with the driver's seat, but we can kind of play around and look at that later. For right now, just due to costs, I'm gonna run with this gel coat. It probably wouldn't be a crazy difficult car to wrap or get wrapped. So that's another thing to consider. Came with all the cutouts done. The manual that you get, as I said in previous posts, leaves a lot to be desired, but it talks about how to go through and do the measurements to cut these out yourselves. If for some reason you were able to buy it without it being cut out, that wasn't really an option. And I'm glad that they did it for me anyways, so that I don't have to mess with that. I don't like cutting fiberglass. Thank you guys so much for watching, liking, subscribing, commenting. YouTube cares about engagement pretty much more than anything else.